See that guy down there, riding his bike in the sunshine? Yeah, that's me. In 1988, maybe 1990, it's hard to remember, it's such a long time ago now, I flew out to Kefalonia on my honeymoon. And the minute I got off the plane, I noticed something weird had happened to me. The hairs on my arm stood up, and the back of my neck, I felt really odd, like I'd come home. Now I know a lot of you say that, but this really is my spiritual home. I've spent all the years since trying to make the dream come true. And when Brexit happened, I applied for my biometric. And now, I live here. Now over the years, as you can see, if you've been coming a long time, Lourdes has changed immensely. There was one taverna on that beach when I first came, and none of these houses were here, maybe one or two. So you could say that me and the island have changed a lot over the years. I mean, I'm divorced now. Some things are for good, some things are for the worse. I mean, the divorce was terrible, but I've got 2 good children out of it. And I suppose the island now generates a good income for the people who live here. So it's not all bad. If you could, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like, share and subscribe, sat back and enjoyed the ride. Who am I? Well, my name's Rudgy, otherwise known to the bike world as the Doctor. So, let's get into it and see what's going on in my life today, shall we? It's Friday, here we go. Yeah, that's going to be coming down tomorrow. So that gives you an idea where we are in time-wise. Now, I don't know when it's going out, but me and Wednesday House, Jimmy Wednesday and the Wednesday House, were discussing the foods that you can't get. Well, you can't go in a restaurant and get a meal like that. A full roast dinner with all the trimmings, roast potatoes, mashed potatoes, chicken, gravy, broccoli, carrots. Now, the chicken I got from A&B, it was already cooked, so I freeze that. So I cheated there, just threw a leg and a bit of breast in the oven. The veg all came from Olga's, so it's all fresh, grown on Kefalonia. The potatoes, the broccoli, the peas, the carrots, it was all grown here. The gravy, well, I cheated with that as well. I get people to bring me some Bisto granules out. I'm going to go and eat that now. Sometimes I just love my life. Look at them roast potatoes, look at that. Oh. What a great day to be alive. Yeah. All I can say to that hobbit is, yes, it's a nice walk if you like walking. Very picturesque. Me? As a lot of you know, I like riding my bike. Fairly enthusiastically. And then I like to stop and have a coffee and something to eat. That's what I like to do. As you can see, I decided to visit Fiskardo. I'd be rude not to while we were walking around to the castle. It has an eerie sort of deserted feel about it at this time of year, which I know some people love. I don't mind it. I can imagine what it used to be like before tourism invaded. Where I'm walking now is usually full of brollies and tavernas spilling out onto the harbour side, and yachts that I said earlier in the video last week that you wouldn't get a fag paper between. There really is a lot of activity in the summer here, and if you sail in, don't expect to get a berth at the height of the season, because it just won't be possible. The cats look well fed though, and I believe there are quite a lot of people still live in Fiskardo, but as you can see, not a lot going on. My advice would be, if you're going to visit this time of year, take something you want to drink and something you'd like to eat. A picnic if you like, because there isn't anything open for quite a distance around the place really. There you go, as predicted. Even the supermarket's shut. ATM's working there. There is another supermarket round here. We'll go and have a look, see if that's open. If you've never been to Fiskardo before, don't be put off by what you're seeing here. This was New Year's Day, but it's pretty much like this now until the season starts, and then, as I said earlier, you won't believe how busy the place gets. There's taverna after taverna along this quayside here, and yacht after yacht. Very pleasant place to visit. I have found it to be a little expensive for my tastes, but I have got viewers on the channel who said they've been to various places here and found it not to be that bad. So if you've been, leave in the comments where your favourite place is to visit, which might help people watching this video. But as you can see, pretty deserted this time of year. Well, that was Fiskardo out of season. This video is going to be a few bits and bobs, because as I said before, it was difficult to keep up over Christmas and into the new year. So some of the videos are finished and some aren't. Oh, my apologies for that, but I'll try and make the content interesting. So out of season, this is what you get down at Lourdes. We're down towards Waikiki Bar at the moment, which probably won't be open next year either. I'll let you know how that's going. It's a legal matter. Anyway, quite a big sea by anybody's standards. Right, I'm going to get out of the harbour and show you what's going on, but I'm not going to be doing that for long because it looks like it's going to tip it down, which is something else that happens this time of year. As you can see, the storms have brought more gravel down here again, The storm when the Jackie's house, the Hobbit's house, got flooded out last year and flooded Peratata, it came down here and it was level there all the way along here, and it went into the harbour there to dig it all out. Looks like they're going to have to do that again this year, the way things are going. As you can see, it's filled the gully way up where the water should be coming down. Of course, it has nowhere to go when it cuts to here. That's the problem. It's a funny thing, but even on a day like this, I mean, it's not cold. As you can see, I've got a shirt on and a t-shirt underneath it. It's not massively cold. So yeah, you can still go for walks and stuff. It's just that you have to be aware it could tip down at any moment. I'll show you, it's really grey over by the mountain. Yeah, you can see the line of cloud there, and obviously gets worse over where I am, over Katelios. We're about to get a shower, I think. Pretty rough out there. Anyway, let's drive down and have a little look. Yeah, I don't know whether the camera's picking this up very well, but those waves are pretty high. You could definitely surf off those. They go out quite a way as well. Well, you've seen me do this a load of times on this channel, but for those of you who may have just tuned in, there's Clematis, all closed for the winter. It's the 6th of January today, which is the Epiphany, so everything's closed anyway because it's a national holiday. But nothing's happened down here during the winter anyway, so there you go. Let's get out and have a look at this end. You can actually hear the big stones being moved up the beach. Now, I don't know whether you can see that on camera. There's a good example of what I'm saying about all the building. We're currently on the road coming out of Lourdes Beach, the back way, which brings you round and up and above the beach. The beach is down that way. And yeah, you can see quite clearly the water's running down. We haven't had much rain today. We had a little bit of drizzle this morning, and that's about it. So you can imagine what that's like when it pours down. There isn't any drainage as such, so it uses the roads to find its way down, and that's probably why Trapezzaki and where we've just been, where the harbour is in Lourdes, probably why they get flooded out. But those of you Lourdes fans will know where I am now. We're by Trafili, a friend of mine's old restaurant. I don't think that's open anymore. I think it's retired, and the hotel is to my right now. So I'll take you up in the village while we're here and show you what's going on there. Not a lot. Right, here we go. Still got some Christmas lights there. Cafe Plantanos, or Platanos. He'll open when we get the first large amount of footfall, I would think. Usually just after my birthday. That used to be a bar up there, belongs to a friend of mine. That was a great place back in the day. Adonis, yeah, the Adonis bar. And there's a friend, another family that adopted me. My mate Peter used to rent a house off them. Dionysus. Babish's apartments. And just past the Muse bar, which obviously is also shut. If you're looking for a cheap room or a villa, I think they've got 3 now. Babish and his son, well, both his sons now, Costas and Panagiotis, now have villas, and they also have a lot of rooms where you get a bed, bathroom, and maybe a little stove to do your coffee on, or maybe grill something if you wanted to. Yeah, so I'll leave an address or a phone number at the bottom of this, so you know, if you need to contact them, you can mention my name, and they'll probably help you out if they can. Now at the back end of the village, going down from Vlahata back towards my house. As you can see, they've re-tarmacked this road. It's fantastic now. If not a little dangerous, because now of course people come tearing along it. Whereas before it was very bumpy and a lot of potholes. People used to take the time, because back in the day, before any of this was built, this was just a track. Me and my neighbour Stathis from next door were discussing this the other day. There was no buildings down here, this was just a track. In fact, there'd been a lot of fridges and things dumped along here over the years. So yeah, this has all been built in the 35 years that I've been coming. They'd started developing all this area when I first came. And of course, when the road was made more permanent, then the gloves were off, weren't they? That was the end of that. Anyway, on with other news. I have some news in this video about my biometric and also Katelios. So, it'd be rude not to. Let's get on with the video. Katelios, a favourite location of many a holidaymaker to Kefalonia, and a really pleasant touristy spot to come and visit when you're on the island. But are things about to change? Let me go down there and explain. Yeah, so worryingly, I've read on a few of the papers now, Greek papers, that these tavernas that are on the beach here in Katelios have all been told they've got to be removed, and that they're going to pedestrianise the front of the buildings. Now, the pedestrianisation, well, I don't think that'll make too much difference really. I've been down here in the summer and usually park somewhere and walk around the place. It's not a very big village. But the tavernas that are on the beach, well, I can actually remember when it wasn't quite like this. There's probably one taverna and that'd be about it. They're saying that they're illegal constructions and they shouldn't be there. Now, I've seen various reports that some of them are going to take the roofs down and they're all right if they do that. Who knows? Like I say, I came down today to talk to somebody about it. There's nobody about, which doesn't surprise me, as we're just the day after Epiphany, which was a bank holiday, so there isn't likely to be many people about. They're all with the families, aren't they? If this is true, well, I'll leave it to you to decide how that will impact the holiday makers that come here, because that will be you.
Personally, I think it's the one place on the island that, though it's got a lot of tavernas on the beach, doesn't really matter because there wasn't much of a beach to start with. The beach really is further back. Let me show you. So yeah, we're at the top end now by the little harbour side there. As you can see, there's not much happened here. They're still there. Maybe they're not classed as being on the beach. I don't know. But this one here, now this woman has a Facebook page, and I've seen her saying that they've been told to remove the roof, and that she's trying to sort out what she can put in place of it. As you can see, they've started dismantling that. This one here probably gets away with it because it's only got brollies. I don't know. That one there looks like it's been removed, and that one there looks like it's been removed. And as I was saying earlier, there's a huge long beach along there. I mean, we do have a bit of a beach here. You wouldn't think so at this time of year, when the seaweed and all the debris on it. But when it's clean in the summer, it's quite a nice place to be. Yeah, I mean, this place here has only ever got brollies up, so maybe that's how they get away with it. And I think the same here. What will happen here? Well, I don't know. It looks like they're taking the roof off this one. It's been a reasonable day today. The weather's warmed up unusually. It was 18 degrees in Villa Joro last night. We're at the 7th of January now, for those of you who like to know the dates. But we've been below freezing once or twice over Christmas. It's been pretty chilly. I've had the heating on. So yeah, I was expecting it. This time of year is usually pretty cold. I was expecting it to be pretty chilly. But yeah, it's been quite a nice day. The sun's been out on and off. As you can see by the scattered cloud. But we're getting on for like 5-6 o'clock now, so I think we've got some rain coming in from the weather forecast. You can never rely on the weather forecast here. So while I'm doing this little report, this is Katelios in the winter. Quite what's going to happen about that, I don't know. It's quite interesting. I will try and find out. I'll come down again in a few weeks' time, see if I can find somebody who knows something about it and report back to you. For those of you I know watch the Facebook pages on this sort of thing, if you've got any info, drop it in the comments or message me. But yeah, I know this person there's taking theirs down and replacing it with something else that they're allowed to put up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Like I say, I think pedestrianising this area here probably isn't a bad thing. This place has always had quite a nice feel. Let me know what you think. I mean, I've never been one for making these places too busy. It's supposed to be a quaint little Greek island, isn't it, you know? Let me know what you think about it all. So yeah, it seems that the powers that be are clamping down and Katelios has fallen foul of it all. I reckon Lordas, watch my prediction, I reckon Lordas will be next. There'll be illegal structures there that they'll be taking down. Same thing happened last year in St Thomas. as you go down into St Thomas, the beach in the end of my village, on the right hand side there's a taverna there, and they made him close down due to, they say, illegal structures. What they mean is things like this that have been put up without any sort of permission, I suppose. Personally, it's here, been here a long time, as long as I can remember now, and people love it. You take that away, people save up a lot of money, as I've said before, and I keep pointing this out to my Greek friends. People save up thousands of pounds to come here on holiday. It takes them a long time to save that money, and they've got connections with these people. You know, they come to see the people who run these establishments, and if they're not there, well, they might not come back. Who knows? Anyway, like I said, leave in the comments what you think about all that. I've said before, I don't answer the comments very often because I've got lots of emails and WhatsApp messages coming in on a daily basis, and I think really to answer all the comments on the YouTube channel would be impossible, because I have got historic videos that also get comments on. But I do acknowledge you with a heart or a thumbs up, and sometimes if I think I need to, then I will answer it, if it's somebody who can't communicate any other way. But usually you lot police it yourself quite nicely, so talk amongst yourselves on there and I'll be watching. Anyway, yeah, from a grey Katelios, that was your news. Right, well, that was Katelios. Now, as I've put on the titles, I wouldn't worry too much about if you booked a holiday there. The woman's place that we videoed that had the roof taken down, I've been following her Facebook page, and she's in negotiations with the authorities as to what structure she can put back up. And I think it's all to do with it being safe, basically. So they're going to put a new roof on that one, from what I can gather. The others, as far as I can see, they're negotiating to put some structures back up. So by the time you guys get here, it will all be rebuilt and lovely, and nobody will ever know anything's happened. But, you know, I have had some people ask me about it, so I thought I'd go and report on it. If I find anything else out, maybe I'll put a live stream out or put it in the news, whatever. So, anyway, in the meantime, I've been off to Argostoli police station, as I said in a previous video, to see Andreas about my biometric. Now, my biometric card is my residency card, which I got under the withdrawal agreement when the UK left the EU. And it gives me the same rights as a Greek person. I can run a business, be self-employed. I have access to the free market, basically, and I can live here. There are restrictions. I had to be here for 6 months out of every year in order to keep my biometric, which then makes me tax resident. So then I have to declare my worldwide income. Now, those are the complications. There are a few others, but it was due to be renewed in September this year. Now, you know where I'm like with my mental health. I worry about everything. So I went and saw Andreas and I said, is there any way we can do this earlier? When can I apply for it this coming year? And what do I need? So he took my card off me. Now, this is the interesting bit for you Brits that are living here. He took my card off me and he put the details in. Bang, everything came up about me on his computer. Everything was there. He knew when I'd come and gone from the country, etc. So if I'd been naughty and stayed out of the country for longer than 6 months, there's a chance I probably wouldn't get it renewed. And also you have to put in a tax return if you're here on a residency card, because you're tax resident. And also golden visas and people like that. Even if you put a nil return in, which, you know, if you lived off your savings like I did, you still put a nil return in. You have to do that. So this is a list he gave me. I have to put my double glasses on. Somebody thought that was amusing the other day. Haven't got any readers, I'm afraid. So he wanted 4 4x6 passport photographs, a Paravallo of €16 paid to the bank with the receipt. The code for that is 2296, If you go to the KEP office, they will issue you that, or my accountant did all this for me. A copy of my passport image page, insurance from EFCA. Well, I recently took my S1 on from the UK government, which means I have an insured AMCA now, which was ideal. He accepted that. Copy of proof of income. Well, I used my state pension for that. I had the letter saying how much I was going to get because they'll tax me on my pension now. 9%, I think my accountant said. Copy of the rental agreements, which was easy. That was on my taxi net. Tax returns from 2021, which is when my biometrics started. And that was about it. So, yeah, I went and got all that information together. And as you'll see, cracked on with it. I now, if I haven't already put it in the video, I now have a piece of paper, because he took my biometric card off me and sent it off to Athens, a piece of paper to say that I'm legally allowed to stay until my new card comes. I will now get a 10-year card. Now that's interesting because the 10-year card allows me to be out of the country for up to 5 years if I want. But yeah, I'll give you a bit more information on that when I get it, because I'm sure Andreas will fill me in on any new regulations. And as I said, if I find anything out about Katelios, I'll let you know. Anyway, let's crack on, and this is how I got the photographs, etc., etc. And let's crack on with the video. Okay, well, if you can hear me over the wind, one of the things that's required for my biometric, as I said earlier, is 4 passport size photographs. I'll put the dimensions up underneath. Anyway, some of you might be wondering where you can get those from. Well, there's the quayside. That's where Patsaurus used to be, and the grill house is there where the Chinese shop used to be now, and all the boats are down there. And just there is the place where I get my photographs from, which is, I can recommend him. He's very good, quite funny as well. Girls, you'll need to have no makeup and brush your hair tightly back, and I'm not joking, they're quite strict. No smiling, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's where you get your pictures took. Nice little Jeep there. As you can see, everything's shut. It's just after 2. Anyway, no trip to Augustoli would be complete without a visit to my favourite baker. Kalispera. Galasi.
I don't think you're filming.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see you have plenty of loaves today. So I might have one of those. Yeah, look at all them. Somebody's been baking. It is the best bread on the island, I have to say. I've been a few places in the 35 years, but if I can get here for my bread, I do. It's just that now the mayor's put his balls outside, it's difficult to park.
Broken balls.
Yeah.
Let's say irresistible and they can't move.
Yeah, so he's found a way of moving the mayor's balls. We're not going to go into that.
It's gonna be X-rated.
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to get a loaf, and then it's off to Olga's for me veg. Right, well, that's me bread, a few treats. If you ask him, if you give him some money and ask him for a prescription, which is what I've just got. Yeah, so I've got some stuff for later on. Now I'm going to put this in the car and then pop into Olga's and get my veg. Right, that's the shopping done. I was going to film Olga's. Unfortunately, You all know where that is if you watch me regularly. Unfortunately, we got chatting and I forgot to put the camera on. Now, because I didn't manage to film inside Olga's, there it is there, the fruit and veg stall, just there. So there you go. Now you know where Olga's is. Time to go home and cook a roast dinner, I think. Now, on the way out of town, I've seen this vehicle a few times, but I thought I'd share it with you. It's quite an interesting thing. Look at that. Now, I don't know anything about that other than I think it's cool, and I just stopped to take some footage of it and share it with you. We do get some interesting stuff on the island. An old Lancia outside the Bakers when I've just been. Quite an interesting car. I should have videoed that as well. Yeah, as you can see, it's very early. I very rarely see the sunrise. It's the day when I go to the police station to see Andreas and get my paperwork sorted out. So yeah, there's all the paperwork. Yeah, there's all the paperwork. So in there we've got, there's my list. We've got tax returns going back from 2021. Proof of my health insurance, which is my insured AMCA. Proof of my pension, which is the letter to tell me how much I was going to get. I'm hoping that's going to be good enough. 4 passport photographs. What else? Oh, rental agreements, all that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping now that I've got to go and see Mr. Andreas at 9 o'clock. I'm hoping now that he goes through it all. I think they send it to Athens, and in a few days' time I'll get notification that my new card will be ready. It'll probably be a month now, won't it, after, because we've got Christmas in the way. Anyway, wish me luck. Right, well that's the police station taken care of. Let's get in the car and I'll tell you all about it. Right, so I've been and seen Mr. Andreas. I had all my paperwork in order, which makes things a lot easier. Some people don't bother with that and get spat out of the system. So I had my fingerprints taken. I've handed in my old card. He's given me a piece of paper with a stamp on to prove to the authorities that I'm legally here. And he reckons just after Christmas, maybe in the first week in the new year, he will ring me and I get my new ID card for 10 years. Now, that's a huge bonus to me. One, I'm here legally for 10 years now, don't have to worry about it. And secondly, I can come and go just like a Greek person can. Up to 5 years I can stay away from the country, as I've said before, if I want to. Because up until now, with the 5-year biometric card, I had to be here for 6 months on a rolling 12. Now, you might think it's dead easy. If you want to live in a country, why would you be away from it? Exactly, yeah. But of course, if there's family problems or something like that, it's dead easy to roll over 5 and then into 6 months. You know, when I first started this, I was still working. and I used to have to try and get all my year's work in 3 or 4 months. So it's going to make it a lot easier. I can be away from Greece for up to 5 years out of 10. So yeah, I'm quite pleased about that. That's another hurdle over with, and next one will to be get my Greek driving license. I'm going to apply for that soon. Right, go and find some lunch. Well, I don't see anybody swimming. As you can see, Sami being the main port, there are still bars and tavernas that are open. That one's open. And that one's open. Is. So as you can see, not a lot going on, but if you want something to eat and drink, plenty of places open. So yeah, Sami's a good place to be in the winter, but I looks of it along with Augustoli. For me personally, I prefer to be near Augustoli because that's where all the business is done. So you need anything, like tomorrow I've got a problem with my phone, so I need to go into Vodafone. You'd have to drive nearly an hour from here to get there, and then you've got to find something to park. So yeah, I'd rather be in Augustoli. Anyway, let's crack on and get to here for me, where I will get myself a coffee. Still haven't got a coffee. I'm going to go back up the Stolly way, see if I can find some sunshine. Well, Tom and Victoria, did you really think I was going to leave you two out? There's your happy place. Anyway, time for a coffee. Better turn round and head back. This is the air conditioning remote, and it gives you the temperature in the room, 8 degrees. It was 6 in the bedroom when I got up, so it's warmed up a little, but we have had a bit of sunshine today. Let me show you what's going on out here. See that? Yeah, snow on the mountain. The only saving grace today is that though there's a biting wind, there isn't much cloud, so the sun's out. The fact there isn't much cloud means that it'll be colder again tonight. It has dropped below 0 several times this week. So those of you who think it's always warm here, no, that's why a lot of the people who live here have got fireplaces and burned logs and stuff. I've got a little gas heater that I brought off Jimmy Wednesday, and I tend to sit right on top of that when it's really cold. And I also, the landlady left me 4, I think I've got of these. But of course, electric's expensive, so as you can see, it's right next to where I sit, so I have it on very low, just to keep the chill off, really. Yeah, bit of a challenge in the winter. On a pension, you can't afford to just run the electric up, so I was thinking of getting a stove put in the living room. Maybe put it just there below Peter, but I don't know, because it'll mess the living room up, won't it? And it's got to go out through the roof, because it can't go out through any of the walls, because there's always a roof structure above. So, and of course here we've got the sliding doors, so it can't go out there. So yeah, that's the only place really. Well, the other idea I had was to get a slightly bigger sort of something I can cook on and put that in the kitchen. But again, it's space. I mean, this house is lovely. It's just the right size for me. But it's not so big that you could get away with that. But I could put something just here, I suppose. That's what I was thinking. Maybe put a stove here. Then you leave the door open and the heat travels around the house. Anyway, just one of the disadvantages of living here. But then I suppose you'd have to move to California to be warm all the time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you know, sometimes things don't work out the way you thought. Well, yeah, thought I'd have a bit of a montage, but, well, that's not happening. Yeah, I was going to put that in a frame, put it on the wall, but it looks a mess, doesn't it? So I'm going to have another think about that. Anyway, let's get back to the editing.
Right, well, I still haven't decided what to do with the collection of photographs. I thought it'd be nice to have a history of my biking career, all the bikes I've built for myself, with pictures of me on them probably, and pictures of me riding here and in the USA, places like that. I've been lucky and ridden bikes all over the world, but of course it just, when I put it in the frame, it didn't really do what I thought it was going to do. I mean, I've got them all over my fridge. If you've watched the videos regularly, you'll see that. Oh, that's a nice picture, and I stick it on the fridge with a magnet. So I thought I'd make a big frame and put it in the living room, but it just looks untidy. So what I think I'll do, if any of you live on the island are watching this and know where I can get it, I need a big piece of plexiglass or something similar, perspex, and some sterling board, and I'll make a massive frame up and make a feature of it downstairs in the downstairs bar we're putting together for when people come and visit, and we can have a bit of a chill out down there. So yeah, if you know of anything, let me know. Also, in last week's video, I did put up that I was putting my Wayward Child's frame up for sale. It's early Evo soft tail chassis made by CCI. I modified it slightly with brackets and stuff, but nothing that couldn't be fixed. You could actually fit any of the soft tail
Harley Davidson parts onto that, build yourself a Heritage or a Softail Custom, something, you know, that sort of thing, if you're into those bikes. It's registered as a Rudge Special in 2000. So yeah, the logbook and the frame will be up for sale because I can't use the bike here legally on a Greek plate. So what we're doing, as I've said in other videos, is stripping the bike, shipping the parts out, and I'm going to buy a bike that's got a damaged engine or something and try and build something out of that. So if you know anybody who's looking for an ID for a bike, hit me up on here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm sorry it's a bit of a bitzer this week, but I ran out of footage. I'm now waiting for the weather to improve so I can get you some sunny videos so that you can look at the screen and cheer yourselves up. Thanks for watching, thanks for all your support as always, and I'll catch you guys next week. And thank you for visiting the coffee page and supporting me there. It makes a big difference to my life when people do that. So you're coming up in the title soon. Thanks for your support. See you next week. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. Sit back and enjoy the ride.